5 Stoic practices that can save you in a crisis. Have you ever felt trapped inside your own mind? When everything around you collapses, money runs out, relationships break, work falls apart. The worst part isn't always the outside chaos. It's the inner panic, the helplessness, the not knowing what to do next. That is why Stoic philosophy, often seen as cold or rigid, becomes a lantern in the dark. Not to help you get over it fast, but to help you stand firm, with reason, and not be swept away. Here are 5 Stoic practices that can save you in crisis, not with fake positivity, but with awareness, reason, and inner strength. Practice 1. Sit down and write what you don't control. Most people in panic rush to act, escape, react, blame, or beg. But a Stoic begins with separation. Marcus Aurelius in Meditations repeated a simple exercise. Divide everything into 2, what is within my control and what is not. When crisis hits, sit down, grab a pen and write. Lost your job, you can't control that, but you can control how you respond. Someone's harsh words, you can't stop them, but you can control whether you carry them all day. Writing down what is beyond your control is like dropping a heavy bag of stones. Epictetus said, if something worries you, remember, it is not in your hands. And if it's not in your hands, it shouldn't live in your head too long. This doesn't make the crisis vanish, but it does something more powerful. It keeps you from losing yourself inside it. Practice 2. Ask, in the worst case, what happens? After sorting control, Stoics take another step that sounds scary, but it frees the mind. They imagine the worst-case scenario. Seneca taught his students to practice premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. He would picture, what if I lost my wealth? What if I were exiled? What if I lost someone I love? Not to despair, but to prepare, like a soldier training before battle. Today, if you face job loss, breakup, bankruptcy, ask, what is the worst that could happen? And if it does, will I still survive? Most of the fears we avoid thinking about cannot actually destroy us. They hurt, but they don't erase who we are. Marcus Aurelius wrote, look straight at what you fear and ask, is it really so terrible? The shadow grows larger when you run, but when you face it, it shrinks, and you realize, even in the worst case, you still have yourself, still your reason, still the power to do what is right. Practice 3, replace why me with what must I do now? In crisis, the first question that rises is, why is this happening to me? It's human, but it opens the door to endless suffering. The Stoic does not waste time blaming fate. They shift instantly to the stronger question, what must I do right now? That question is the turning point, from victim to agent, from helpless to deliberate. Epictetus said, we cannot control what happens, but we can control how we respond. Example, you lose your job. Why me? Leads to, was I not good enough? Was my boss unfair? Did colleagues betray me? But what must I do now leads to, what costs must I cut? Where are the next opportunities? What can I learn from this loss? The shift is small in words, but massive in effect. It stops crisis from controlling you and returns control to your reason. See, even Epictetus is telling you to stop whining already. So if this feels a little too true, don't be upset. Be stoic. Hit like and smash the subscribe button as if you were pressing the control button of your own life. We can't promise to erase your crisis, but together we can walk through it awake, clear, and unbroken. Stoicism Empire, where reason stands firm even in the storm. Practice 4. Remember what is within your control. In every crisis, the fastest way people lose hope is through the feeling of helplessness. It feels like free fall, nothing in your hands, nothing you can change. And that loss of control sparks panic. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You may not control what happens, but you always control your thoughts and your response." The Stoic divides sharply. What is in my hands? What is not? This is not denial. It is the discipline of focusing energy on what can be changed while letting go of what cannot. For example, illness. You cannot fully control its course, but you can control how you eat, train, and keep your mind calm. Criticism. You cannot stop others from speaking, but you can choose how you receive it. Keep what is true. Discard what is meaningless attack. Epictetus taught, "It is not things that disturb us, but our thoughts about them." In the storm, the Stoic does not try to stop the storm. They secure the mast inside, tighten the ropes, and keep sailing. To remember what is and isn't in your control is the very art of peace. It turns a chaotic mind into a fortress of reason. Even in crisis, you can say, "This part is mine, that part is not. I will act only on what is mine." The Stoics called this the first sign of a mature mind. No more blame, no more blind reaction, only clarity and action within your limits. Practice 5. Do the right thing, even when you don't feel like it. There are times when crisis paralyzes you. You know what must be done, yet you feel too weak to act. You curl up in discouragement, waiting for motivation or the right moment. But for the Stoic, action does not wait for emotion. They act because it is right, whether they feel like it or not. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is right, do not wait for anyone to tell you. Do it as a soldier obeys his order." What does right action look like? When hurt, you choose to right instead of lashing out. When lost, you choose to get up and clean your room before tackling bigger tasks. When insulted, you choose silence and walk away instead of reacting in anger. You don't need a better version of yourself to begin. You don't need the right mood to live with virtue. You only need to remind yourself, "This is right, I will do it, even if my heart resists." Seneca called this the discipline of the soul, when reason overcomes impulse. And strangely, every time you act rightly, even against laziness or fear, you strengthen the spine of your soul. You are no longer a victim of moods. You become master of yourself. The Stoic does not wait for the perfect time to act. They do what should be done and let results arrive naturally. No rush, no judgment, only a silent commitment to what is right every day. Philosophical conclusion. When crisis strikes, you may feel like a leaf tossed in a storm, fragile, powerless, searching for something to cling to. But Stoicism does not teach you to escape the storm. It teaches you to become the rock that stands firm in it. Epictetus reminded us, we do not choose our circumstances, but we do choose how we face them. The most important part of any crisis is not what happened, but who you became in the process. Did you let emotions rule you, or did you master yourself? Did you react blindly, or did you choose reason and virtue? These Stoic practices are not about winning life. They are about not being crushed by your own mind when life grows chaotic, when you write your worries instead of carrying them, when you separate what is and isn't yours to control, when you accept reality without complaint, when you act rightly, even when you don't feel ready. These are not just coping skills. They are the quiet signs of a strong soul, and you may not notice you have been saved until one day in the middle of the storm, you are still breathing steadily, still doing what is right. If one of these 5 practices spoke to you, leave a comment. Tell me, how have you ever saved yourself in a crisis? Your story might be the rope someone else needs when they're at the bottom. And if you believe in reason, courage, and self-mastery, subscribe to Stoicism Empire and walk with us. Stoicism Empire, where you learn to stand firm when the world collapses.